Hello everyone, how are you all doing today? I don't know what happened at the beginning. My timer seemed to have moved on my countdown timer. Who knows what happened? And it was a lock scene as well. Never mind. It's a mystery. Hey, Paul, great to see you. And whoops, I've not got some comments that haven't quite come up yet. As always, Mr. Paul Duncan. There's lots more moderating to do now that we've got Discord as well, isn't there? I'll be chatting about Discord a little bit later. Hey, Carly. Hey, Jeff in the chat as well. You were too quick off the draw. The comments haven't even come up in my eCam comments because just too quick. Oh, no, hang on a minute. Everything's going wrong this morning. I'm not very prepared this morning. Not that I normally do much preparation, but just had a few other things going on beforehand. So there we go. Yeah, great to see you all. I had a really busy week this week. As you can tell, not much content gone out. But there you go. I've got lots more catching up to do. I'm just going to get straight on into it. This is my progress so far. 189 videos out of my 365, and we're on day 253. So a lot of catching up to do. I feel like every week I say the same thing. Oh, next week I'm going to have a lot more time. And then something always comes up. Just really busy with work once again. And the video that I did put out this week, apart from last week's live stream, obviously, was a little bit of a cheat, really, because it was I was a guest on the Chit Chat Across the Pond podcast with Alison Sheridan. So I recorded that on Zoom, and then we put that out, or I put that out onto my channel, and she'll be putting it out onto her website as well. But I'll tell you about that in a moment. So quite a leap forward in subscribers actually since New Year. So it does seem that I've noticed. In fact, let's go straight over, shall we, to my. Can you tell I'm a bit discombobulated? There's a word this morning. Let's go over to the stats a minute. I've noticed that my videos. Oh, look at that fancy flying overlays. I've noticed that my, where is it? If I look into reach, I've noticed that my videos are getting shown a lot more. So you can see where it says impressions. Oops, impressions. There we go. That's it. Yeah, since the start of the year, there's just been a sort of increase in the number of impressions of my videos. So that is basically how many times YouTube is serving them up as potential options for people to click on. So that's just interesting to note that there has been this sort of I mean, it was kind of fairly consistent growth here, and then it had a jump up here where there was I don't know, it seems like YouTube sort of ramps these things up intermittently. I'm not sure what based on or why this thing happens, but there you go. It does seem that since New Year, basically, this has been a sort of slow uptick in the number of times that YouTube is suggesting my videos to people. So that has meant that I've had quite a few more views this week compared to other regular weeks, or in the last sort of few days. So I think it was around about 60, what are we on, 61 new subscribers this week. So hello, welcome all. And that's a lot more than I normally get. A typical week would be, a recent typical week would be more like sort of 40 or 50 or something like that. So yeah, all just interesting to note. I will talk about the revenue briefly as well, because I'm going to just keep tracking this and sharing it with you all. So the total so far is $84. So I'm not retiring yet. But it is interesting that some of these videos, let me have a little look at, if I go into the revenue section, and we'll have a little look at the breakdown again. So basically $54 of that is from ad revenue, 22 is from transactions, so that's super chats, super stickers and the like. Oh, hey Dina, just seen you sneak in. And then $7 is from YouTube Premium. I still, as I said before, I'm not doing anything with the ads in terms of adjusting them or anything like that until the first month, and then I'll go through and turn off some of these. So I'll probably be turning off the non-skippable video ads and the bumper ads and the display ads, just because those are the ones that I, as a viewer, find most annoying. So I don't want to be annoying people with advertising and stuff like that. Let's have another little look around here. So the other thing is, it's just interesting to note when you see videos where it's listing the revenue and the top earning videos, basically. Obviously, these are all very low numbers at my early stage. This one has got the highest, but that included super chats and super sticker, and the same for this one here. But this one, why profiles are better than folders on Stream Deck. That is my most popular video that I've done. It's consistently good. I always get high views of that one. And I do think profiles are better than folders, but I think most people just go down the folder route with Stream Deck because it seems like a logical way to go. It's more like a sort of file system, so it's what we're familiar with. And I know that when I started using Stream Deck, I set everything up with like massively nested folders and lived to regret it. And so then I figured that actually just using profiles instead of folders was better. And that is my top performing video. So it's interesting to see that since I got monetized, basically $7.38 has come from that in the past 28 days. So that's that's just interesting that these videos that have, I mean, it was one of my earliest videos as well, but they're just still there, as a source of passive income, really. And that's obviously the point of this. As it grows and as the subscriber base grows, then it will be the same for all of them. I am going to go and strip out some of my videos though at some point, because it's really the ones where I'm teaching people stuff about eCam. And eCam has changed so much. They develop it so heavily, and it's amazing. There's so many things that are just massive improvements in it that I need to just basically go and strip out the ones where I'm giving people unnecessary steps that they don't need to be taking whilst they're making their stuff in eCam. So that whole 4-hour tutorial that I did, or 4.5 hour on sort of start to finish with eCam, that's pretty obsolete now, given all of the new advances that we've got. So I've got to go and remake that at some point. I was going to remake that just after New Year, actually, and then they dropped the latest beta, the 3.10, which has got some more great new features. So I may just wait for 3.10 and make the 3.10 full on eCam tutorial. But let's just see how it goes. So, that's just a little dig into the stats. As I say, I'm going to stop quoting my my watch hours and views, because it's getting a little bit obsolete now, or not obsolete, a bit irrelevant, because I was always tracking those on the path to 4,000 watch hours. So I'll probably leave that off next week. I said that last week, but then I forgot this week. But I will start tracking the revenue a bit more and sort of sharing that whole thing with you, because I know that people do want to know these things. And when you're sort of on the path to monetization, and everyone talks about whether it's a high amount or a low amount that you're going to get from YouTube advertising, most people don't actually tell you how much that actually is in real terms. So that's the point of doing this. Jim, hi Jim, nice of you to stop by. And I did indeed, because you don't want people having to sit through adverts to get into a live stream. So I did definitely make sure that was off this time. So thanks for letting me know about that last week. That would be really annoying. There's something happening live, but you've got to sit through an ad. So turn that off. So this week, I was, in fact, just yesterday morning, I was on the Chit Chat Across the Pond podcast with Alison Sheridan. Now, I don't know if you know Alison. Wait a minute, let me come to the right website. There you go. Podfeet.com. She makes a number of podcasts, all sort of tech, Mac centric. And so I've known Alison, or known about Alison, been listening to her podcasts since since I started using the Mac, which was around about 16 years ago, 2006. I was a casualty of Vista, and that was what caused me to investigate the Mac. And then once I started using it, I realized, what a fool I'd been for sticking with Windows for quite so long. But when I did start using the Mac, I wanted to obviously learn all the new stuff to do with it, and there was loads of great Mac podcasts that were just kicking off at around this time. And Alison had a podcast called the NosillaCast, which was all sort of Mac-centric. And then there was another one called the Mac Roundtable, which had lots of different Mac podcasters who all came together and did a podcast together. And then all of the other usual suspects, Leo Laporte, Mac Break Weekly, all of those sorts of things. So I was just listening to all of these podcasts, like hours and hours and hours every week of Mac podcasts to get up to speed with stuff. So, as I say, I've been a long time listener of Alison's stuff, and then I got it was actually on Buy Me a Coffee, and the name on the Buy Me a Coffee, she'd kindly gone and bought me a coffee for having watched some of my Stream Deck content. She'd got a Stream Deck, watched some of my Stream Deck videos, found them useful, and gone over to Buy Me a Coffee. And the name there would just said Podfeet, and I thought, well, I definitely know Podfeet. So I just reached out and said, if that's Alison, thank you very much. She invited me on the show. So that's what I was doing yesterday morning. And we just basically had a chat. So it was on her Chit Chat Across the Pond podcast. And so that name came originally because on the Mac Roundtable, there's a few others in the UK, and so then she started the podcast with Bart Busschots, who's in Ireland. Really amazing guy, super geeky, and they do a thing. I mean, they actually do a podcast about coding and teaching people how to code on a podcast or talking about that. So that's an interesting concept, but works really well. So that's where the name came from. But then, as well as doing the regular podcast with Bart, she also then has on different guests. She's had some real stars on there. None other than Mr. Doc Rock makes regular appearances. So it must be good. She's just awesome, and it was a really great conversation. And so that is what I was doing tomorrow. But what I also did was we recorded it on Zoom. And there we go. There it is. Just put up just today. So we recorded it on Zoom, and then I put that out onto the onto my channel as well. And then obviously this is an audio podcast that she does, or maybe not obviously, but this is an audio podcast that she does. But we did record it. I put it out onto my channel, and then I think she'll be linking to that video as well. So I highly recommend, though, if you are a little bit geeky, love all things Mac and the similar sorts of stuff that I talk about, really, like productivity, different apps and stuff, and obviously all the coding stuff, then definitely head over to podfeet.com and check that out because, really interesting stuff. So that is what I was doing yesterday, and that is basically the only video that I did, but it did involve some editing, and it made me realise why I don't like editing, because we basically recorded the Zoom call, and then there was a little bit of an intro that we did for the intro for my channel, and then we had a little break, and then we had an intro, and then we had the actual podcast itself, and then I sort of filled in the three gaps at the beginning, the middle, and the end with a little bit of stuff that I just recorded on Ecamm to sort of tie it all together. And it was painful doing any editing. Having to take that into, I'd use Premiere Pro because I've got that on as part of my Adobe thing, and then edit it together. There was a couple of bits where I was doing a screen share as well, or showing something on the screen, or describing it for the audio podcast. So then I was trying to resize us both, and then only the most basic of editing, but I didn't enjoy it, but I got it out there. I did it. Hey, Keely, great to see you. No problem. Watching. Interested to see what I was going to say about Discord. Well, yeah, hashtag Keely was right. Oh, there you go. Hashtag Keely was right. So, I'd love you to come and jump on and have a little chat about it. I was wrong about Discord. I wasn't really wrong. I was wrong. I was basically just reluctant, should we say that? When people were talking about doing stuff on Discord, I was, I've just been a bit reluctant to get on board with it, really. And it's just a case of it being a learning curve, like jumping into it. I've been on Discord technically for I think about a year, something like that, as a user. So there was a couple of Discord groups that I was in, and I think I've probably been sort of slightly put off Discord or had been put off Discord by the groups that I was in, that the way that they were set up, the way that they were managed, and all that sort of stuff. It was just a kind of for me with those groups. I mean, one of them. Let me just see how many members it's got. I don't know if it tells you actually. I think I remember seeing it somewhere. It was around about 23,000 though. So there was 23,000 people in this Discord thing. It's a trading related to trading, stock trading, and there was something ridiculous like that. And so that's probably where I got the impression that it was a little bit too busy, and some of the way that it was set up is, I suppose, it's all really comes down to the actual community itself, doesn't it, that you're setting up there. And so if you go into, a poorly run community or one that's really noisy, busy, and it's just you can't really follow along with it, or it's too complicated to actually understand the structure where stuff is, then that can put you off the platform. And I think that's probably what happened to me, because it just all looked a little bit too much and I wasn't enjoying being on there, so I didn't really adopt it. So then when people were talking about having a Discord for your community, or in our case, I say our case in the case that I've been experiencing recently in Doc's community, because that's where I got my my insight into a better way to do things. Thanks, Keely. When people were talking about moving stuff over there, I was like, well, I'm on Facebook already. I know the Facebook groups, and it's just sort of easy that way, isn't it? But it's only once you actually start going into a well-organized, well-managed, and well-run community that you realise how infinitely better it is than Facebook. I mean, there's things about like the interface that I wish I could change certain things about that, just the actual look of the Discord interface itself. In fact, let me just come over and pull it up just for any of the uninitiated. So I've set up a Discord for Take One Tech as well, but I just want to figure out, I'm not sort of officially sending out invites or anything like that until I figure out exactly how to do it, or how to implement it properly. But I have just set up something roughly totally copied from Keely's organisation of, and I should say of Doc's organisation of his server, but we know Keely did it. So there we go. This is what I've got for my thing. And so I was figuring, well, I'd have some sections for my YouTube channel, any guest appearances on other shows and things like that aren't directly on my channel, video ideas for people to be able to suggest ideas and things like that, or ask questions about stuff that I might want to cover, any courses that I'm doing related to the channel. So I've been trying to figure out how to sort of bring this all together. I do have all of this on my website, but I just really appreciate the ability, to have all of the conversation about it. And then I've got some different sections for stuff that's related to the sort of stuff that I do on my channel. So, talking about studio gear, I'm not going to break it down into, camera, audio, lighting, and all that sort of stuff, because it's not something that I cover as heavily on my channel as other people. So I've just got sort of one for that. Ecamm Live, obviously something that I talk about a lot. Automation. So I'm going to be doing a lot more automation stuff on my channel. I keep saying that, but this is the bulk of the videos that I've got on my list of my, whatever it is, 150 videos that I've got on my OmniFocus list. I think it's more than that now, actually, but the list of videos that I've got to make, most of those are still actually the original videos that I put on my list when I started the channel, because my whole idea about the channel was it was going to be about sort of Mac productivity and Mac automation, not so much productivity, because productivity, you can go down a productivity wormhole thinking about new ways to plan your tasks, task lists, and all these sort of stuff. There is a big sort of thing with productivity porn, they call it, where everybody's just like after the next thing and they just get totally lost with it all. And in fact, they spend so much time on their productivity that they don't actually do anything. So I'm a bit wary about the productivity. It's more automation is really the thing, and using automation to make you more productive. So that's the key. But again, there is a danger with that. You can spend hours in Keyboard Maestro making a macro for something that you're going to use once, and spending 5 hours doing something that would have taken you a minute. So there's a balance there as well. But in any case, I figured that, whoops, daisy, wrong scene. I would have a sort of whole section about automation and the things that I'm going to do. And then, so productivity would be sort of similar to that. So some of the productivity tools I do use. Monetization. So one of the things I'm doing, obviously, on these live streams is talking about my my channel and the monetization of it and all these sort of things. So I'm always a sort of open book with that and sharing what I'm doing and how it's working for me and sort of the growth of it. So I thought having a topic around that would be useful. And then you've always got to have the little squirrel off-topic conversation, haven't you? And then, YouTube analytics. That probably wants to move up there somewhere, but I'll sort that out afterwards. There we go. Just move that up there. Because you know what an analytics geek I am. So I'd have that in there as well. So that was kind of how I'd figured using my, sort of setting it all up. And then access to this would be, I'm still figuring out that. I have actually put it into my Buy Me a Coffee already. So there is, you can get the sort of membership through there, but I've only linked in the roles at the moment, but I haven't quite figured out all of the links. So I'll probably be hitting Keely up about that and asking her for some advice on that one. But that was my sort of thought process behind it. I don't want to duplicate totally everything that's going on in the other places where I am, though, as well, because obviously this is where all the action is at the moment, the Let's Get Live server. buymeacoffee.com/docrock to go and get access to that. I need to update that with his Ustream link as well. But anyway, that's the easiest way to get there. And what I've just found with that is, so yes, there is already the Let's Get Live Facebook group where we've got obviously everyone there, everyone can engage and chat with each other. But it is just a stream of posts, as Facebook is. It's easy to miss notifications on Facebook. When I say it's easy to miss them, I mean sometimes you just don't get them. And then, if I go over to a Facebook group, I kind of scroll down a little bit. But after I've gone down the first, few posts, depending on how much time I've got, then I'm just seeing what happens to be there at the top and any comments and things like that. It's nowhere near as conversational in the way that you get with Discord. And what I found is it just means that you can easily find the conversations that you're interested in. So in the Let's Get Live group, I'm not going to go into it because obviously privacy and all that. But you can just see all the different threads of the conversations. Well, just coming back to this one, you would see here, like if we were in, there's nothing in here at the moment. The only thing I've got in here is I've just added in all of the different shows that I was on in the past. So that's where I am with it. But like for instance, with these, you would then be able to go and chat on them. But then if you were only interested in the automation stuff, you can go straight to that. If you're interested in monetization, you can go straight to that. So that's the sort of beauty of it really is it is all well organized like that. So that is where I am with it. Anybody wants to come on and have a little chat about Discord and how they found it, because I know some of you are in there, and obviously Keely, the master. I am going to not be making a load of tutorials. I'm going to leave that to Keely. So as soon as they're ready, I'll be directing everybody there. I've been banned. So Paul still on the fence with Discord. Well, I'm learning to love it personally. Not learning to love it. I am loving it because of because of that organization thing. The thing about it is though, there is a still, like for a lot of people, a barrier to them getting on it. For me, because of people, and when I say people, I'm talking about nobody in particular, but it is one of those things that it is like a new platform and people are really going to be used to Facebook and things like that. It's just so easy because it's there, they've got it on their phone and everything like that, so there is always that kind of like something new barrier for people, but I've certainly just been loving it, especially for the LGL community. I found that it's just for me it's worked. It's working better than the Facebook group. I wish I could just tweak the interface. I know you can change things like, light mode and dark mode. I don't know if you can get skins for it to completely change the look of it. But that's a minor thing for me if the conversation's good. all in with Discord for the Silver Lining Home Place community. That's right. Hashtag Keely for the win. So yeah, I've just been setting this up sort of when I should have been doing other things this week. So I got up and I just started thinking, oh, maybe I should just what I wanted to do was really understand how to go about setting up the Discord. One of the things that I'm doing in my regular work, one of the things that's taking all of my time at the moment, is this trading platform that we're launching. And part of that has always actually been to have a Discord server. I've just been delaying doing anything with it. So we did set up our Discord server to test out some basically some bots that are going to be able, people can basically go and get information about different stocks and things like that. So we've had a developer that's been developing these bots for us for Discord. I've just been not on board with it fully myself in terms of actually getting all the community set up. So it was actually really timely that we did the sort of LGL community. It's timely that Keely set up the and Dina, sorry, I beg your pardon. But I know Keely's been on about this for months. So it was really timely though that we've got into it. And so yeah, I just set it up this week. I intend to sort of roll it out probably next month sometime officially. I'll send you an invite so you can give me some feedback. Yeah, I'm going to wait. I've got a I've got a Discord tutorial embargo. So as soon as Keely's got hers out, I'll have a think about it. I've also got to learn everything from Keely's videos first before I can make mine. That's the thing, because that's my little trick, to be honest. I just learn it all and then make the videos. Somebody was talking about the beta and about how I get my beta videos out really quickly, and people think, oh, he must have early access to the beta if he's getting his videos out immediately when it's released. Well, my little trick is I watch Ken and Glenn's beta launch stream in the beta Facebook group, and then I immediately go and make the video saying exactly what they said. So there you go. That's my little trick. And then everyone says, how do you know this so well? And it's so soon. I've literally just heard it like 30 minutes before. So that's my little trick with that. Yes, Zoom course. So yeah, I have had other things to do. I've been just fitting this little the Discord thing in around things. So it's like every time I got a spare 5 minutes, I just I'll just tweak this, tweak that. But yeah, had another avalanche of a week this week with other work stuff. But I will get to it, I promise. The link in BMAC doesn't work. Doesn't it? That's interesting. Okay, that's good to know. I will investigate. So, have you been notified? Did you get a notification in BMAC, or is it? I'll have to have a little look. Oh, you mean Docs link? Is that? Are you talking about in BMAC? Okie. I'll get to the bottom of it. I'll try and figure out what you're talking. Yeah, I'm in trouble. I'm gonna have to come into to class on Sunday with my head held in shame. My link in BMAC. Hey, which link is that? I wonder. My link in BMAC isn't working. So is that a link that you got sent out related to Discord, or is that yeah, I didn't set up any I haven't really set this up. I'm sort of talking about this because we're talking about Discord, but I haven't sort of officially launched this as yet because yeah, there's still work to do. I've got to figure out making sure I've got things like the little moderator bot and all that sort of thing set up. So I'm not really there with it yet. So I haven't sent out any notifications about it or anything like that. But you'll definitely be there. I'll hook you up. You can give me some back channel advice. Right, yeah, that's what I'll need to do. Yeah. So okie dokie. So that's interesting then. So is there actually a link in? I should probably not be doing this all just sort of live here, should we? I haven't even looked to see, because what I did was I sneakily went into my membership levels and added in the different roles, so I figured out how to do that. But what I didn't do was send out any notifications or set up all of the links and that. I'll do this afterwards. I've just typed. I went to go and type "buy me a coffee" and I typed "buy me a Mac." So I don't know what I've got on my mind. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, I've still got a lot of learning to do with "buy me a coffee" with Discord. So yeah, just sort of figuring out how to best get it set up and all the different little tricks and things like that you can do. But fortunately, there's going to be a great course coming out, Discord for creators. So I'm just waiting for that, and then I'll get the lowdown on how this all works. But yeah, as I say, I've got a whole sort of trading server to set up as well. So I'm going to learn from mine and then do it, and obviously the LGL one, and then I'll get that all set up. And that one's going to be a bit harder to manage because obviously I would envisage mine being a nice, happy place full of happy people who are just there to learn. Whereas the trading server is going to be a bit more of a beast, really, because that will have quite a lot of users on it, and all different types of people on there that are not necessarily the same as my my Take One Tech audience, who are all lovely people. So yeah, that is still on the back burner, really. I will get it launched. As I say, I'll give a select few some back channel access to let me know what they think, and then probably I'll get that all set up and live by beginning of next month. And so where are we up to now? So that has been my week, really, in terms of what I've been doing. I've done a little bit of the setup of my Discord, but mainly just working with stuff. Now I'm getting all notifications coming in from this. There we go. Rich has found his way in. Lock the doors. Sweet. Nice. But so it wasn't working in Chrome, but it worked in Safari. Cool. Right. Well, I'll have to wrench you up in there, Rich. You can help me keep the riffraff out. Yeah. So yeah, as I say, still lots and lots to learn. Just looking to learn from the masters, Keely and Dina. Oh dear. I'm losing my train of thought a little bit here. Get that all shut down. There we go. So what is planned for the week? Well, I've got another busy week at work. This is getting quite, it's great to be busy, but it's getting quite frustrating, really, just getting behind with my videos. So, if I just go back and have a look at my numbers, just so that we can understand the mammoth task that I've now got ahead of me. 189 videos, and it's day 153. So I'm quite far behind, aren't I? I'm like 50, 60, 4 videos behind. So I've got quite a lot of work to do. I'm not going to really be able to do much catching up this week. In fact, I'll probably slip further behind this week. And the other thing is, with my parents being here, I find that that's throwing out my sleep schedules quite a lot as well. Because normally I would go to bed sort of 8 o'clock, something like that. I found that I've been going to bed later because obviously I want to spend time with them. It's nearly time for them to go back as well. I was hoping they might be able to extend it by a month or two, but alas, not. So they've got to head back end of next week, actually. So there will be a little bit of normality returning to the house in terms of schedules and things like that, but definitely going to miss them when they go, because it's been great seeing them for the past couple of months. So my sleep schedules should hopefully return to normal a little bit there. Oh, everyone's burst through the doors now. Dina's in. Hey, Dina, into the Discord. This next week is going to be another bit of a slow week for video production. I know that, but I'm waiting for 3.10 Ecamm to come out, and then I'm going to remake my whole Ecamm tutorial. So I know there's quite a few videos in that, but then I'll get back to just plowing through all of my, when I say I know it's coming out, I only know it's coming out because there's a beta. Don't think that this is a sort of top secret back announcement. So yeah, I've got that, and I just really want to get back to doing, and this is something that I've been saying now for I think around about 3 months. I had the conversation probably 2 months ago actually about having it where every week I have a sort of like 5 video series on something. So all of my sort of beginner's guide to Stream Deck, advanced Stream Deck, and all that sort of stuff, they've always been like sort of 5 videos. I like doing them in chunks of 5. So what I said 2 months or 2.5 months ago was I'd do sort of 5 videos as a video series in the week. So there's one focus for that week, and then have a couple of extra videos that are just random videos, maybe answering someone's question or something like that. So that is the workflow that I want to get back into, that, to be quite honest, I've just been struggling to get back into. It's like this morning, well, obviously this morning I'm doing the live stream. Yesterday, though, I was up and then I had Alison's podcast to do. So that was 4 a.m. for me. She's Pacific time, so it was 1 a.m. 1 p.m. the previous day for her. So I did that podcast yesterday, and then I had some editing to do, and then I had a consultation. So somebody had booked through Buy Me a Coffee, so I had that immediately after. I've just found that it's been hard to get back into the sort of swing of just getting up and doing the video. I've been getting up, and then I've had other stuff to do. So yeah, this is just me making excuses, isn't it? I haven't made the time. I've had to make the time for other things. Or I have made the time for other things over this. So I've got to sort my priorities out. Yes, everyone's breaking in. Another 5-hour marathon. Well, the thing about it is actually, so I was thinking about that. It was actually when 3.9 came out. So that, the video that I did for, whatever the previous version was, 3.8 I suppose, was a 4.5-hour video, and that was a video all about how to set up Ecamm from start to finish, but then also how to set it up with Stream Deck, build out Stream Deck icons in Keynote. But a lot of it was also about building overlays and things like that in Keynote to use with Ecamm, and it was really quite a long time spent on stuff like that for that 3.8 version of Ecamm. But then in 3.9, where they brought out all of the cool things like camera overlays, the screen share overlay, well, they already said the screen share overlays was the main one, and things like adding borders and outlines and things like that, rounded corners. That sort of negated the need for a lot of that Keynote stuff, or creating custom overlays at least. I think there's still a place for that, depending on excuse me, what sort of show you're doing. But yeah, really, I think that if I was to remake that 4.5-hour tutorial now, it would probably only be about 2 hours, 3 hours, something like that, just because it's so much more efficient now. And obviously there's even more stuff coming out in 3.1 as well. So that's the plan. I will redo it. I was really convinced about doing a 4.5-hour video. I wondered how many people would watch it, but it has actually been one of my most popular videos, because one thing that I found when I was watching videos, when I was trying to learn Ecamm, when I first got it, aside from just digging into all the menus and going through everything and trying to figure out how to use it, I did watch tutorials at the University of YouTube, because, that's what I use YouTube for myself. And one thing I found was finding somewhere where you could find out everything from start to finish and not feel like you'd missed anything. And when you're learning something new, there's always that thing of you don't know what you don't know. So you could go and learn something and think, oh, that's great, but there might be whole other gaps in your knowledge that you're just don't even realize is missing. There was I don't want to get into politics, but there was a politician in the US, who everyone will know when I say the quote, who got mocked for this particular quote, where he said, there are known knowns, there are known unknowns, and there are unknown unknowns, and everyone had a little bit of a laugh about it. But actually, that was the most concise way to say that, because there is a whole load of stuff where you think like, oh yeah, I don't know how to do this thing, and so you go and find out how to do it. But there's a whole other area of stuff, which is the stuff that you don't even know that you don't know, and you wouldn't even know to go and find it out. So that was my thinking behind that 4.5-hour tutorial, was if somebody watches that, they would be able to start from zero and then have everything up and running with the Stream Deck all linked in and everything like that all together. And as I say, it has been one of my most popular videos as well. So There are people who go and watch a 4.5 hour video on YouTube. What I'll do this time differently, though, is with that one, I did actually intend to make it so that I could repurpose all those videos, or that one video rather, and split it all up into each individual section. But because I just did it all pretty much on the fly, I did write down the bullet points with that one because it was quite long. I wanted to make sure I got everything covered, so I did have bullet points for that one. But then when I was delivering it, or recording it rather, I was doing it in the same, my usual style of just rambling through it, and sometimes it feels like I'm fumbling my way through. Do you know what I mean? So I got through to the end of it, but then when I went to go and try and chop it up, it wasn't really sort of as cohesive in terms of in little individual blocks. I didn't give enough thought to actually making each section an individual video in itself. So when I do go and remake it again for 3.10 or whatever it happens to be, then I'll definitely give a little bit more thought to that and repurposing it. I want to try and do that a bit more going forward. I mean, everyone talks about repurposing content, and I've been talking about it for quite some time. The reason why I've never done it is because that comes back to I've still got to go back and find the clips and things like that to edit it, or get out the salient points. So I've always sort of shied away from that really because of editing. So then. Yeah, I know. Sorry, Carly. I know that wouldn't be popular, but it was just that this thing always does. This little quote does always sort of stick in my mind because it is a thing. But I didn't want to mention names. He's not someone that I would normally have in my Alex bedside book of quotes. Let me think what Donald Rumsfeld would. What would Donald Rumsfeld say? Oh dear. Yeah, let's not go there. So yeah, I definitely want to give a bit more thought to that, and I suppose that's one of the things I want to try and do. It just in general, going forward, is just thinking a little bit more about. It's just I've got to bring this up. Of course, Mr. No Pro himself, Mr. Keith Pelzer. You don't know what you don't know yet. I think he's a much better person to quote. I think, isn't he? So yeah, Keith said, what would Keith do is much better than what would Donald do, isn't it? So yeah, one of my things for this year really is to try and get a bit better at getting these little snippets of things that I can repurpose. But it still sounds like a lot too much like work to me, hard work for this where I haven't got the time for it. But who knows? Maybe there is a way to get this down a little bit better. There we go. So I've not got much more to say on my my progress so far, other than just got to get back at it really and get back into the swing of it. I've lost my mojo, I'll tell you that much. I do feel that way since for the last quarter of the last year, where I sort of got out of the swing of it. I do feel like it's been harder to sort of get back into it, and just these other things just popping up that have got in the way of it as well. Repurposing is a chore for sure. It certainly is. That's why I like I probably just thinking aloud here. The way that I have made all of my shorts before has worked for me, because I can just sort of sit there or stand there as whatever it is, and just sort of, rattle them off and record them as one thing. I think probably repurposing for me, just thinking about it, what I should probably do is, if there is something, salient that could come out as a little clip out of my main thing, is actually just re-record it, to be honest. It would be easier for me to just, at the end of my video, thinking about like what is the bit that I would clip out of that, or if there was some little nugget of information that could be repurposed into a little shorter clip or something. I'm probably better just actually recording that separately at the end. So maybe that's what I need to do. Note to self. I hadn't really thought about that in that context before, but that's probably what I need to do. Because, just at the end of the video, stopping it and starting it again and just recording a few little snippets. That's maybe what I'll have to do. I'll add that into my my workflow development list. I do wonder when 3.10, just coming back to Ecamm, when 3.10 is going to come out. And I'm even more intrigued, even though we haven't got it yet, I'm even more intrigued to learn what's going to be in 4, because you would think with a major release as opposed to just a dot release that 4 is going to be have some interesting new features. So I can't wait to see what that is. No, she is indeed, isn't she? Well, I'll be honest with you. I'm all out of things today. I'm feeling a little bit exhausted this morning. I had a very long day yesterday, basically 4 a.m. until it was about 6:30, something like that. And it was my daughter's 10th birthday yesterday. I can't believe where the time goes. I don't know what it is, but somehow having kids seems to make the time go even quicker. And it doesn't seem like long ago since she was just a little girl, and she still is, but you know what I mean. It's yes, it is certainly the time seems to gallop on quicker when you've got kids. Let me have a little look. Do I ever gang up and do more than one video at a time? Not really. I have done that before occasionally. So I think the most I've probably done in like a sitting, as it were, was probably 3. But generally, it's just kind of, I mean, that would be another way to do it, really, wouldn't it? It would just be to block a big bunch of time. And it just used to really work well for me. I say used to. Look at this. In the olden days, like it doesn't anymore. But this time that I have in the morning, like the time now for me, coming up to 6 o'clock, this is the sort of quiet time when I can get this all done. And it was like a block of time that I was just dedicated to doing it. And it still is, but I've just seemed to have had like other things that have just popped up that I've had to sort of allocate some of this time to. So, but yeah, I could just block some time and then just record 5 in one day. It was, I suppose, which would sort of make sense. It's just finding that bigger block of time then to go and do it. But I suppose then I've got all of the. I'll have to give this some thought. I'm thinking out loud here. What's that? I see. Right. Yes. Time stamping. I got the time stamping thing. Yeah. So still just got to. I've got to. I want to get back to my original workflow. My workflow of getting up and making a video, because that did actually work kind of good for me. The other thing about doing it that way is because I was doing a lot of videos that were just reactions to things or to people, or a new release had come out, and so I'd just get up and make the video. So that was the other reason to do them on the day, is just a lot of them were sort of direct answers. Carly's here for the time stamping. Thank you very much. So yeah, I'm pretty much out now, to be honest. I'm absolutely exhausted. I think that I am going to end this one a little bit earlier than normal. I normally wait until at least my little boy Dale's waking up, although he has been getting up a little bit later than usual recently. So I find that the older they get, the later they sleep in. So you can pretty much say that Dale, my youngest, is up first. Then there's Emily, my younger girl, and then the older Jasmine is she's always up the latest. So yeah, I'm getting a little bit more of this focus time in the morning, so I should be trying to maximize it. But there we go. Right, I am going to call it a day there, though, because I think I probably need to go and I feel like I need to go and have a lie down, to be honest. Absolutely exhausted. But I shall see a lot of you, no doubt, over the weekend in our various little meeting places. Doc Rock's office hours. In fact, let me just stick that up for those that are unaware. Where has it gone? Now look at that. Now I need to sort out this overlay. Let me just do that for you. They're locked. There we go. I do need to get his proper link up. There we go. Buymeacoffee.com/ I should be promoting mine, really, shouldn't I? But buymeacoffee.com/DocRock to join up for his awesome community, the Let's Get Live community. Look at that. You see, I was just expertly move out of the way of the overlay. Yeah, come and join the Discord and see what it's all about, because it is an awesome community with lots of cool people talking about great things. Oh, thank you, Carly. I'll have some nice sweet dreams. Thank you. I am actually an expert napper. I haven't mentioned that before, I don't think, on the channel, but I might do some videos about that. I was delighted that our friend Mr. Rob Falls, Rob Values himself, had a channel, the napping channel. So it is already. Yeah, it's my weekend already. So I'm going to kick back and enjoy it a little bit. See you later, Rich. Great to see you around. And indeed, I'll see you all around the schoolyard. So for now, I'm going to say bye-bye. If I can just get this thing off the screen. Look at this. I'm hopeless today. Absolutely hopeless. I can't even find my end button. Hey, Doc. Doc's just popped in. So I've just got to say hello, goodbye. I'm ending. But we were just saying how awesome your your Discord was. Thanks to Keely. So I think you owe more than a barrel of wine. I think you owe a good couple of barrels. But anyway, there you go. Okie dokie. I'll see a lot of you in class, and have a wonderful day. For those watching on the replay, there'll be a link to some other great videos over here on the right hand side. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye bye.